Hi, beautiful friends. So this morning I thought I'll have a quick vlog on Masali, which is the island tale, and it stars two of my favorite actors. That's Turan. Aicha Turan and Alp Navruz. Now, they're gorgeous, beautiful young actors with great futures. They've already done great work, but they have such a chemistry between the two of them that I've never witnessed before for any of them with their partners in any other of their series. And rumor has it that they have a good thing going outside the set, that they're getting very close together. Not sure if it's entirely a love yet, but I think they're getting very close. So I really hope so, because it seems to be happening quite a lot in the Turkish series world, where an actor and actress, either the leading roles or someone in the team falls in love with another. And it's quite common that it does happen. They work very closely together on a romantic story, and they spend a lot of time together. So it's no surprise that something does, maybe there is a spark between them that leads from one thing to another, and we've often seen very successful marriages coming out of these, and a lot of those couples like Burak Özçivit and Fehriye have now got a baby. So it does happen more often than I've seen in any other sort of film industry groups. So let's talk about Masali. It's the story of a lovely city girl called Haziran, whose mum is going through a financial crisis. She has a lot of debts to pay. Now, she works in a real estate agency company, big company. She's a very successful city girl, loves the city life, has many girlfriends, beautiful, classic clothes, everything like that. And she's very ambitious, and she's very good at her job. The story starts when she is told to come into the office for a meeting with her boss, who says that she's to pack up and go to this village and persuade this olive farmer to sell his land so that they can then build a hotel on it and make money and attract tourism, etc. And they throw in a lie of a story that he's a nasty piece of work, that he has no friends. Everyone in the island hates him and detests him and is scared of him. Tourists are scared by him, etc. So they build up this picture of a nasty piece of work that she needs to go and sort out, steal his all of his paperwork, and make him bankrupt, taking the paperwork to the bank, to all his accounts, and demonstrating that he's not able to pay his debts, and to go into liquidation, basically, so that he will be forced to sell up, and they can then buy the land at a cheap value and develop. So that's the story. That's the first episode. So she comes to the village with this, or the island, with this vision of a man, Poyraz, that she's going to meet. But from almost the first moment of meeting, he strikes but a very good impression on her, and slowly she begins to fall for him, and there are little very sweet encounters, like the island dance competition that they win together, and then her cousin, thinking that she's heard something about her coming to the island, to her, to Poyraz, who is a favorite of hers, and then she having to jump and kiss Poyraz, making up a story that what she's hiding is the fact that she's fallen for him, and really that first kiss, I think, opened Poyraz's heart unknowingly. Now he has a childhood which is quite sad, that he's trying to always close and the chapter and forget about. When he was 7, his mum kissed him and said she loves him, and went back to Istanbul, where she was born, and when she grew up, before she married his father, and never comes back. A year later, after a year of waiting, his father wakes up one morning, robs her name off the boat. I think her name was Eitan, and goes out to sea, even though it was a very bad weather, and never comes back. The following day, the boat comes on the shore, and a few hours later, his dead body. So that's when he decides to forget about his mum and never forget, because he can't forgive her to be the cause of his father's death as well. And he demonstrates that he's very unforgiving right from that early age. She did something that she felt sorry about, especially after his father died. She wrote many letters for him to understand, to forgive him, to join him. He didn't want to know, and he decides to live forever with his grandmother. So when the grandmother, at the time of their first meeting, is in a coma. She's been in a coma for a few months, but Haziran comes to read her a book and buys her a dream catcher, puts her above her bed so she doesn't have nightmares, and she really becomes very close with Poyraz, and for the first time, Poyraz is opening his heart after deciding never to open it to anyone, after being hurt by someone, i.e. his mum, who went back to the city, and after being convinced that this new girl will also go back, he will try and find ways of keeping her, giving her reasons to stay. Anyway, let's go back to when she comes to the island. On the very first day, she goes on a tour and goes to Poyraz's office without anyone's knowledge, goes through his accounts and takes a screenshot of everything. She then sends them off to her manager, who then sends it to every bank that Poyraz might want to request a loan from, and decredits him. So overnight, by one action of Haziran, he goes bankrupt. In the meantime, Haziran, I don't know, something happens that she finds out what a big mistake she has made, that he's actually a very nice guy. He's very popular. He's done lots of good things for the village, and they all love him. She then realizes almost immediately what she has done, what a big mistake she has made, and she promises herself to make it up to him, to turn everything around in his favor. She proposes to him that she will stay, she will not go back to Istanbul, that she will buy the derelict hotel, and that together they could make it a success, and from the money that they earn from that, they can save his family home, and his grandmother won't have to be evicted, etc. So he agrees, and they become partners, and they do really well. She brings over her best friends from the city, and they help her, and they really make a go of it, and she lets her niece be the receptionist, etc. So she has good help from them. Now, there is a girl, a third person in the story, called Edil, and she's the witch you love to hate. So she has a classic story of being Poyraz's childhood friend and being madly in love with him from as long as she remembers. So she puts obstacles in the way. She does nasty things, like she buys all the flowers that they were going to buy for a wedding reception, and she poisons them, so there are no flowers in the island for the wedding reception that they were going to hold as the first opening party of their hotel. She releases a box of beetles into the kitchen, so they fail the inspection, the health inspection. So there's no end to what this girl can do, and it's one of those tales where she has a girl is in love for a guy is only one-sided, yet they don't give up. They are under an illusion that this guy will fall in love with them. So she's determined to make him discover what she believes is a secret that Haziran has, and she's determined to break the two of them. So currently we have reached a point where Poyraz, falling deeply in love with Haziran, invites her along to their camping trip, and she goes along, but she shows him a bit of a cold shoulder, only because she's feeling really guilty, and she's thinking, should she tell him about her story and how sorry she is or not. They come back. When they come back, she decides to go and speak to him, but the grandmother opens the door and says, look, I don't know, if you think that I don't know what you're up to. I heard your confessions while I was supposed to be unconscious. I remember everything you told me, and knowing my grandson, he will never forgive you. And you two will never be an item, so forget about it. So she decides to go away. He comes after her. She still can't tell him the truth. Then she gets a phone call from Edil, who overhears his best friend talking to Haziran's work partner in the island, where he says, I know about what Haziran has done and what you've done, that you've both been behind Poyraz's bankruptcy, and I'm going to tell him. So Poyraz finds out, and Haziran arrives after he's been punching this guy and says, yes, it's true, but I feel really bad, I feel really sorry, and I would love you to forgive me. I will do everything in my power for you to forgive me. So that's how the last episode sort of ended, with him saying that he will never forgive her for what she's done, that she's even more cruel than everybody else, that her manager and her partner from the city, and that's how it ends. So I suppose the next few episodes we will see Haziran trying to make up, trying to prove herself and her worth, and hopefully Poyraz will realize that despite everything, he still loves her, and that everyone deserves a second chance and redemption. So I've really enjoyed it as a fantastic Turkish summer show. It's really, really lovely. And I'm also watching Kalp Yarashi, which I will do a vlog for you in the near future. But I hope that you've been watching The Island Tale. It's very sweet, very light-hearted, and it's a nice refreshing break from the Seher Jai, which we've just finished in the winter. Very heavy, or Bir Zamanlar Çukurova, etc. So it's a light-hearted summer show, we have completed episode 7, and they're all available with English subtitles on YouTube. So what better can we ask for? So if you haven't watched it yet, please binge watch this weekend so you're in time to catch up every Tuesday as the series continues. So see you soon for our next vlog.